and welcome to Camille's Country Corner. My name is Lexi, and today I'm going to be showing you how to make a vanilla cake. It was my friend's birthday this week, and I wanted to make her a really fun birthday cake. I did 3 flavors. I did a vanilla, a chocolate, and a traditional red velvet with no food coloring. Today I'm just going to show you how to make a vanilla cake. This is a very simple video today. I'm not going to show you how to decorate it, just how to make the cake layer. Maybe in the future I can do like a come and decorate with me. It just takes a lot of time, and I was running out of daylight for sure because I made this cake until like midnight. So I hope you guys like this video. It definitely is a little bit more simple than usual. If you haven't already, please hit subscribe. Definitely hit that like, and let's get into this video.
For cake recipes, we are going to start out with the dry. I do have a small container, so I just like to use a half cup to do my measuring. So start off with the flour. I'm just using regular all-purpose flour. If you want to use cake flour to make this a little bit lighter, you definitely can. So I am putting in, so far there's just a cup and a half of flour in here. 2 cups. Alright, there we go. 2.5 cups of flour. Next we're going to need our baking powder. This helps lift it a little bit. And this is going to be 1.5 teaspoons of the baking powder. We're also going to need some salt. So I'm just going to do 1/2 teaspoon of salt. I have coarse kosher salt, so I did put a little bit less than I probably should have, just because they're bigger little things of salt. Mix that together, and we are going to move on to the wet ingredients. So onto my stand mixer, I have my sugar. I'm just using regular granulated sugar for this. Again, with the 1/2 cups. My containers are small, can't do a whole cup at once. So that does equal out to 1 cup of sugar so far, and then it needs 2/3, so I'm just using my 1/3 cup, and I'm using it twice. Might seem like a lot of sugar, but this is a cake. You can adjust accordingly to your needs or tastes. I also needed to melt some butter, so I have a stick and a half of butter that I just melted into the microwave. You could do room temperature butter as well, but I did not plan ahead because I'm terrible. Put that to a low speed in the stand mixer to cream that butter and sugar together, and I'm going to go on to crack my eggs. This recipe does call for 3 eggs. You can use room temperature eggs or straight from the fridge. I feel like it doesn't affect the texture of the cake at all to use a certain temperature of egg. Caught a shell. And these are just the large organic eggs that I get from Whole Foods, so nothing too crazy. Alright, let's pop back over to the stand mixer. We're going to stir this at medium to low speed, 1 egg at a time, just so we can make sure that the eggs are fully incorporated before we move on to our next step. In the comments below, let me know what your favorite cake is for your birthday. I always loved when my mom would make cheesecakes for me with like strawberry filling on the top of it. Oh, those are so good. When my mom owned her bakery, that was the one thing I would love to steal from her display case was mini cheesecakes and eat the strawberry off the top and then try to sneak the cheesecake back into the case, which was awful. Alright, I have some organic vanilla. It's going to call for 2 teaspoons of that. You can use just regular vanilla extract or even add some vanilla beans, and that would really amp up the vanilla flavor. I really like this recipe. It's very on par with like a cake mix. It's nice and fluffy and delicious. Off camera, I did prepare some buttermilk, so it is a cup and a half of milk, and then I just added a splash of vinegar into it to make buttermilk because my store was out. But it does the same thing. It starts to curdle the milk and make it sour, which is what you're needing for this recipe. And I'm going to take a cup to a cup and a half of flour each time in between the mixing, and then doing just a swirl around of the milk to help incorporate it more evenly. I did this with all my cakes. I also made a chocolate cake, and that calls for like hot water and cocoa powder mixed together, and then you just alternate that with the flour mixture. It makes it more of a smooth cake, less lumps. Everything incorporates really nicely. So I'm just going to continue to do that, mix it together. It definitely is splashing everywhere because I wasn't letting enough time in between the flour incorporating into the batter itself, so then the liquid just wanted to splash out. But is it really baking if you don't make a mess all over your counter? I think this is why aprons were invented, and paper towels, so you can clean up. Right, last bit of my milk. Probably should have gone a little bit slower because it explodes everywhere, which is a fun time. Do I stop going fast? Nope. Getting it done. Alright, and then I just let that mix a little bit longer to make sure everything is incorporated fully, and then I will prepare my pans for the batter. Beautiful. Look at it, it's nice and thick. It's going to be easy to put into my pans, and it's fully combined. Alright, I got these new pans for Christmas, and I just sprayed them down with an avocado spray. You can also do butter or Pam. And I'm just using a paper towel to make sure that every surface of the pan is coated in that oil. I don't want my cakes to stick. What I also like to do to ensure that my cakes do not stick is I take a tablespoon to 2 tablespoons of flour, and I put them into the pan. And then I just bop that around so that the oil gets coated inside of the flour. And I do it over the second pan just so that I don't have to waste any flour in the process. These worked so perfect for all of the cakes that I made. All of them came out perfect. I didn't get them stuck at all. And it's a super easy cleanup process as well because nothing baked onto the pan itself. So when I went to go clean these, they just wiped out. No fuss. Super nice. I think that's the worst part of baking is all of the dishes you have to use. Look at beautiful, clean. Now I'm just going to take my batter, do a final little scrape down, and then figure out how to get this stupid bowl off and divide it evenly between my 2 cake rounds. I'm pretty sure these are 8-inch cakes, maybe 9. No, I think they're 8. And I fill them about halfway. If you do it too high, then they're going to bake over top of the pan, and you're going to get a doughy center. So you always want to fill your cake pans half or a little less than half to have more even layers. I'm just making sure I get all of the batter into the pan, so you don't want to waste anything. If you are working on a tiered cake like I am, you can always just trust your one cake layer and then make cupcakes out of the rest. I was nervous because this was a new pan that it would stick or something would happen, so I did make 2 of each. But I'm going to use that extra cake layer to make cake pops, cake truffles, anything else like that. I'll be making a video of that soon. But smooth out the tops. My oven is preheated to 350 degrees. I start my timer at 25 minutes and then I check it. This did actually need about 35 minutes. to make sure that the toothpick comes out clean and they are cooked all the way through. Here they are, popped out. I do like to let them cool and then let them hang out upside down. All right, and then here's my decorated cake. I did just a buttercream frosting on the outside and a cream cheese frosting on the inside. And I just did different shaped swirls around it and then used gold luster dust. And here's the cake fully made. I think it came out really nice.
All right, and that's the video. I do have leftover cakes. As you can see at the end here, I only used 3 layers of cake and I made 2 rounds of each cake. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make cake pops or cake chocolate squares because they don't have like a sticks. So I actually am going to film that today, so I hope you guys stick around to see how I use leftover cake to make more fun treats, and this is perfect for Valentine's Day as well. But thank you for coming along with me on this video. In my future videos, I definitely want to get a clear bowl so we can see what I'm mixing. My mom has one, and I would like one too. Maybe I should ask that for my birthday. But thank you for watching our video today. My mom has been feeling under the weather. I have too. So I do apologize for no video on Sunday, but we should be back to our normal schedule here coming up. And she'll be back into the kitchen making foods. So if you haven't already, please hit subscribe. Definitely hit that like, and we'll see you on our next video.